As we approach the 2024 season, I'll be giving my preseason thoughts on 5 position players that I like, 5 pitchers that I like, and 5 players that I dislike for 2024. And if you want to say I'm copying Foolish Bailey, yes, I absolutely am. But for a twist, as a Seattle fan, I have to pick at least one Mariner for each section. Here we go. Let's start off with 5 position players that I like for 2024. And as a side note, I decided to pick players that weren't so obvious. As an example, obvious players like Blake Snell and Geraldo Perdomo won't be in players that I dislike, simply because regression is very clear and likely. My picks are about a player's performance relative to expectations. My Mariners pick for 2024 hitters that I like is first baseman Ty France. On the surface, his 2023 was bad, really bad. His WRC plus dropped by 20 points from 125 in 2022 to 104. But it's how he did it that makes me think a rebound is coming. His expected stats improve, most notably his barrel rate, hard hit rate, and sweet spot percentage. His xWOBA of 342 is eerily similar to his career year thus far, 2021. In August and September, his average exit velocity was 89 miles an hour, up from 87 on the year before. His barrel rate went up from 7% to 9%, and his hard hit rate went up from 39% to 45%. And he was also walking more and striking out less. France from August on had a 117 WRC plus on just a 289 BABIP compared to 309 for his career. Ty France is a much better hitter than his 2023 shows, and he will prove that in 2024. Brett Baty's rookie year was an absolute disaster with a sub 600 OPS and negative .5 fWAR across 108 games. But there is reason for optimism. His plate discipline was pretty good as he chased less than the league average batter. His contact wasn't amazing, but 78.3% zone contact percentage is respectable, and when he did make contact, he hit the ball hard with an average exit velocity of nearly 90 miles an hour and a 44.3% hard hit rate. Baty already has the tools needed to be a solid major league hitter. He could very well be demoted once again if he struggles, but as of right now, his spot in New York's starting lineup looks mostly secure, at least against righties. Baty shouldn't be written off because of a bad rookie year, and I like him for 2024. I think the Royals have one of the more quietly good lineups in MLB, and part of that is this pick. In his brief big league appearance in 2022 and his first full year, Michael Massey has been average at best, with 1.1 fWAR across 181 games. In 2022, Massey whiffed and K'd considerably more than the league average, and made up for it with his barrel rate. But in 2023, he cut down on his strikeouts and prioritized pulling fly balls. Pull fly ball hitters typically outperform their expected stats, but Massey didn't in 2023. His WOBA was 283, which is very bad, but his xWOBA was 319, which is average. Massey already has shown that he can hit a decent amount of homers, but his 28% line drive rate is excellent as well. A player with that line drive rate won't bat 230 consistently. Massey was also getting going right before the season ended. In September, he had a 269 batting average, a 313 on base, and a 513 slugging for a 120 WRC plus. He was a well above average hitter on just a 281 BABIP. His defense also dramatically improved from -4 to 3 outs above average. Massey's only weakness is that he hardly walks, but given his batting average upside and ability to pull fly balls while keeping his strikeouts under control, I like Michael Massey for 2024. I was forced to call an audible here. When I first recorded this video, this was Shea Langalier's spot, but Foolish Bailey also picking him has thrown my catcher pick into shambles. Seriously though, if you've been looking under a rock and haven't watched this video yet, check it out. Instead, I'm picking Jake Rogers of the Tigers. In 107 games last year, Rogers put up a 97 WRC plus, just barely worse than the league average hitter. But Rogers is a much better hitter than that. For a low batting average home run guy, Rogers has an elite eye. He chased just 22.6% of pitches outside the strike zone, and his sweet spot percentage was 40%. Rogers also pulls the ball in the air better than most. Out of his 21 home runs, 16 of them were pulled. And for a pull fly ball hitter, StatCast likes him quite a bit, with barrel and hard hit rates well above the league average, and an average exit velocity over 90 miles an hour. And he's a fantastic defender, with a decent arm and great blocking. We may soon be talking about Jake Rogers as a top 10 catcher in MLB in 2024. Out of the 5 hitters that I like, Brendan Donovan had the best season in 2023, but there are opportunities to build on his 118 WRC+. Donovan has a high contact approach and likes to put the ball in play, with both a whiff and K rate of below 15%. The thing about him in the past is that he often lacks the quality of contact, not quantity. That being said, he drastically improved that from 2022 to 2023. His expected slugging went from a well below average 365 to a well above average 438, and he showed some power, hitting 11 homers in just 95 games. The easiest way to hit a homer in baseball is to pull a fly ball, something Donovan did as often as Bryce Harper last year. His ZiPS projected WRC plus is 109, worse than his 2023, which is shocking to me. He strikes out too little, hits for average too well, walks too often, and pulls the ball in the air too much to just be an above average hitter.